Hi, my name is Edward, and I like to use my words to uplift and inspire. You see, since the beginning of time, words have been used to tell captivating stories, educate young minds, and to, even at some points, tear others down. Our words have power far beyond their conventional limits. You see, words frame mindsets, and those mindsets frame realities. How we use our words matter. When you think about service, you usually think about someone receiving something that will benefit them. It could be volunteering at a local homeless shelter, reading to elementary school students, cleaning at a local park, and even treating your best friend to their favorite food. Whatever the case may be, service comes in a large spectrum. But I propose a question to you today. Have you thought of service in the form of words? Every day, whether it's in passing, we interact with people. And I came to the realization that even though the interactions may be small, they still can play a large impact in the lives of others. I transferred to Georgia Tech in the fall of my sophomore year. And I'm gonna be honest, it was a rough transition, academically, mentally, and I felt lost. I went through depression and anxiety, trying to feel that balance and trying to be successful academically. But in the midst of my storm, I discovered that other people had stories similar to my own. So I wanted to change that environment that I was in, the gloominess that I saw around me. So guess what I did? I did just that. I began to compliment other people on the smallest of things, like, hey, congratulations on your internship. Hey, you did a really good job presenting in class today. Hey, I like your shoes. Oh, I saw you on LinkedIn the other day. Good job on your presentation. And shortly after that, I saw a change in the environment around me. Gloomy faces became smiles. Eyes that were once so dark became bright. And negative thoughts became positive. When you compliment other people, it continues a cycle of positivity. It builds and it grows so much that that person may go out and inspire other people. As a resident advisor, I was tasked with being in a freshman dormitory, and I experimented this with my residents. They began to compliment not only myself, but others in the dormitory. All of us in this room, we are a part of different communities, but we have to continue a cycle of positivity by complimenting each other because it can enhance other people's personal attributes. Even though we see how words can benefit and uplift, I've also seen how words can tear others down. I remember being in middle school and being bullied by peers. I would sit alone at lunch by myself out of fear that someone would say something that would hurt me. When I think about how I would use my language, I go back to that 12-year-old young man who sat alone at lunch because he was harmed so deeply by the words of others. Words can also cause chaos in online settings. My first experience with hurt online came after one of my social media posts went viral. I woke up to a plethora of likes, shares, and comments that supported a message that was meant to uplift spirits. And as a nano influencer on Instagram, it felt pretty good. And then I began to scroll a little bit more. And I scrolled, and that's when I saw it. I saw the most despicable, harmful comments towards a message that was meant to inspire others. I even saw comments that were personalized towards myself. I realized in that moment that even though the comments were by people behind an online profile, it had the largest impact on my self-esteem and my confidence. Words can bring out feelings, the worst of feelings like hurt, despair, hopelessness, anxiety, fear, and even in many cases, pain. it's also important that we use our words to not form self-hindrances in the form of thoughts. I remember being a junior here at Georgia Tech and taking organic chemistry too. Well, I barely survived, let's just say that. And with being in that class, I was doing awful, guys. I'm gonna be honest, I had scores in the teens, 20s on tests, and my mental train of thought went like, all right, Edward, do you really think you're gonna get out of this class? Bro, you made a 30 on a test. Okay, big dummy, you're gonna get out. And what I had to realize was that my thoughts weren't serving me to pass the class. I was literally doing myself a disservice by walking into every test with a defeatist attitude. So I began to affirm myself. I began to write down on a sheet of paper, okay, Edward, you studied, you prepared for this, let's go, let's get it, you're gonna pass this class, let's move, because guess what? I knew that if I kept on with the defeatist attitude, I would not be graduating this semester. So in order to continue that positive cycle, I began to write down affirmations to build myself, to build my self-esteem. So when I got into the exam, it was game time. I knew that I would not be defeated, but I knew I could win. My mom taught me something really key. Every negative word must be canceled out with the positive one. Your words have power far beyond their conventional limits. So I'm here to tell you today, I passed the class. Affirmations have been so important in my life. And whether it be self-assurance, quality talks with yourself, it's important to build your self-esteem and continue that cycle, because once you know who you are on the inside, you can go out and inspire others and continue that cycle. Affirmations were so important that I was able to navigate being trolled on social media. I had to cancel out every negative thought, every negative word, everything that was spoken, because I knew exactly who I was in that moment. My name is Edward, and I like to uplift and inspire. I want to challenge you today. What do you possess in your vocabulary that will empower the world tomorrow? It starts in this room with all of us. Who will you serve with your words? Choose your words wisely. Thank you.